Hello to the fellas and the ladies. Festivals are about to begin, so I'm gonna do one more prediction video before all that happens. Well, okay, a few more prediction videos. The last best picture prediction video. Ass. We now have confirmation for festivals. We have good ideas of where certain unannounced things are going. We have pretty much all the information we're gonna get before the festivals begin. So, without further, I'm only doing Best Picture in this one. I'm going to try and do the two acting categories again, and also going to try and do directing and text this time. In a different video. This is only Best Picture. If you want others, fuck you. I do have Sing Sing at number one because I think it's just going to win Best Picture. I think it makes the most sense. It's the movie, it's not like making all that much money. Wow, whoop-de-fucking-do. To be fair, a lot of these movies aren't going to make that much money, so who fucking cares? Sing Sing, it hits all the right notes. It's saying something important, and it's also a really great crowd pleaser without trying to be a crowd pleaser. I think it could very well get a directing nomination, and a part of me thinks I should just predict Greg Quidar. I'm not there yet. Acting wins around the table for both Colin Domingo and Clarence Macklin. I think he's probably going to win screenplay. He's probably going to get... It could just be anything but tech-wise, but it could get score, it can get cinematography, it could get, I believe there's an original song in there. I don't remember one per se, which makes me think it's not going to get nominated, but... Hey, it exists as a possibility. Dune Part 2 is gonna get nominated for Best Picture, that's a guarantee. I mean, Sing Sing getting Best Picture is also just a lock. And Dune Part 2 is also a lock to get nominated for Best Picture. Right now, I still think Denis is gonna win Director. I think he is beatable, but I'm really struggling to find an alternative right now. And obviously, he's gonna get a shitload of texts. I think Timothy in acting, I'll get asked into why, but I think Timothy in acting is kind of out. And honestly, I think Dune getting acting overall is kind of done. I also really struggle. If you're not predicting it in screenplay, I need to know why. Because this movie's going to get screenplay. And it's going to get a lot of text. And it's going to win a lot of text. It could win, I don't want to say more than last time, but I don't think it's off the table. Obviously, Anora's going to get in at this, where we know that for sure. I think if I were to call another movie a lock, it's Anora. The Palm winner, a big buzzy Palm winner that we now know is doing Telluride, TIFF, and... It was just confirmed this morning, New York. Doing pretty much all the major fests it's allowed to do, because, if you've already premiered, you can't do Venice. But, yeah, I think it seems very obvious to me that maybe it's not going to win Best Picture. I can tell that right now. But it's going to be, crowd pleaser enough. It's going to be auteur enough. It's going to get, directing. It's going to get Mikey Madison in. Mark Alderstein has a shot in supporting actor. Screenplays probably could win that. Honestly, its screenplay win could be its, consultation prize. And then after that... I do think it gets a little wish-washy. I do think Queer makes so much sense to get nominated. Daniel Craig is gonna win. Okay, Coleman, after rewatching Sing Sing, I actually am a little bit more Coleman Domingo could take it, I agree. But Daniel fucking Craig is gonna win, I just know it. It looks like it's gonna be that Venice drama that gets all the raves, and it just kind of happens. It gets the right amount of buzz, has the right package that goes with it. Obviously, there's a chance that it's not that, but at the same time, this is definitely gonna be more Oscar-y than Challengers and Bones and All and Suspiria. There ain't cannibals in this one. Plus, it's the same writer as Challengers, which was very well received, and also an awesome movie. So I do kind of, I want to see who picks up the movie, of course, but, why wouldn't Queer get in if it's, good enough? Right now, Queer's only confirmed for Venice. I would be surprised if it didn't do anything else from there. I think New York is probably going to happen, and we'll see about Telluride and TIFF. But yeah, this is good. I think Queer looks good for a picture nomination, as good as it can be without us seeing it. Emilia Perez, that looks really solid. Going to Telluride, going to TIFF, going to NIF. I think it's going to generate more buzz. It could even rank at TIFF, which is a big let's fucking go for that. It just really, really is starting to dawn that Emilia Perez could be one of the strongest contenders of the year. It has so much potential. It has 3 acting potential. It has directing potential. It has slight screenplay potential. It's going to be on Netflix, and I think it's going to only generate an audience from there. I think Emilia Perez is just going to be a thing that happens. And then everything down there I get a little nervous about. I think Joker, Folle, et Deux, it doesn't have to do too much to get in. It looks like it has the tech potential, it has the acting potential, it has the stuff already. It just needs to not be horrible. which I don't think it's going to be terrible. I think it's going to be like, not amazing, but like maybe ever so slightly or on par with Maestro, which I think is survivable for this movie. Right now, Joker's only confirmed for Venice, and I wouldn't be too surprised if that's where it stops. It's not going to TIFF. I just know it's not. NIF, we'll see, but it comes out relatively soon, so it's no big whoop there. Obviously, the biggest development is A Complete Unknown is coming out this year. And boy, did that solve some problems for a lot of us, right? Because we were all kind of going, yeah, Real Pain, Night Bitch, Searchlight needs to get something in, right? Well, A Complete Unknown seems the most feasible now. James Mangold's a competent director. They have a surefire Best Actor nomination in Timothée Chalamet playing Bob motherfucking Dylan. And honestly, unlike, Elvis and Bohemian Rhapsody, they were nominated despite being bad. Complete Unknown looks a lot more competent. It's not by a that kind of studio that interferes that much. It's made by an auteur. Like, I do think this movie, I don't think it's gonna be like breathtaking or anything like that, but like I do think it's gonna be pretty good. So I think that could be enough. And obviously it's gonna skip all the festivals. It's gonna be that late breaker. I think we got something on our hands with Complete Unknown. I still have the Seed of the Sacred Fig in now confirmed, which is what I needed to do Telluride, to do TIFF, to do NIF. It's doing all three of them, which is what I needed to happen. Like Emilia Perez, I think it's just going to gain buzz from there, and I think that, with that narrative, with the quality, with the bigger audience that it could grab, I think the Seed of Sacred Fig can become undeniable. Obviously, there are some obvious obstacles there, like the fact that it's not going to be submitted for an international. Like, that's just not going to happen. But man, the Seed of Sacred Fig, I think it's just going to become so buzzy that it just can't miss. Plus, that directing nomination is probably going to happen. Yes, its nomination ceiling is pretty weak, but there's something, I swear to God. Now, you're going to be wondering, what the frig? Wait a doggone minute. Why do you have the Brutalist in there? Listen, I have heard the word masterpiece come up many times with the Brutalist, so I had to investigate. And yes, directed by Brady Corbet. He's not the most Academy-friendly director in the world. I'm aware of that. That said, we said that about Sean Baker earlier in the year, and now Anora is a lock. So walk with me on this one. The Brutalist is a drama. It is playing in competition at Venice, starring Adrian Brody, starring Felicity Jones, starring Guy Pearce in what seems to be a really big role. Has a decent cast alongside Joel Allman and Alessandro Nivola. It's getting its premiere at Venice. It is 3.5 hours, yes, and on top of that, it will be shown in 70mm and is a Focus Features film. How is it not fucking obvious, unless it falls flat, of course, how is it not obscenely fucking obvious that this is going to be one of the buzziest titles at Venice? And on top of that, it was confirmed this morning during its New York announcement that it's a US premiere, so it's going to TIFF as well. It's going to keep generating buzz. It's going to keep gaining momentum. And let's say Conclave falls flat. Let's say Nosferatu is another Robert Eggers movie. It doesn't quite tickle the Academy's fancy. And let's say Focus Features other masterpiece, Piece by Piece, is a fucking Lego movie about fucking Pharrell Williams. What else does Focus Features have? Bada bing, bada boom. And it has a pretty, Oscar-y concept, but it's not going to be Oscar bait. At least it's not intending to be. I don't know. It seems like it makes sense to me. I'm going with it. I'm going with the gamble. Y'all want to call me crazy? I don't give a shit. But it makes so much sense to me, and I'm calling it now. I'm not trying to be the tough guy. I just, fuck, it makes sense. Number 10, I have Blitz, confirmed for New York and having a total premiere at London, which makes sense for this movie. Something about this movie is not right, and I think it has to do with the fact that its release strategy is not ideal, having a 3-week theatrical window, similarly in vein with Apple's typical stuff. So not Killers of the Flower Moon, not the 45-day window that they gave even Fly Me to the Moon. And yes, granted, those had actual distributors. Well, Killers of the Flower Moon was straight up Apple, but Argyle was universally distributed theatrically by Universal, and Blitz maybe couldn't get that. But why couldn't it get it? Is what I want to know. Starring Saoirse Ronan. Is it possible the movie's just not that? Maybe the movie's not that baity. Maybe it's gonna be baity as fuck. But what if it's our Empire of Light? It hits the right notes. It just feels a little empty. We're not gonna find out for 2 months though. So, Obviously, we're not going to find out for like 2 months, but something about Blitz is starting to worry me, and I feel like it is very vulnerable. Conclave, I still haven't budged on. I am ready to be wrong about it, but again, that trailer didn't really solve anything for me. It feels like it could be a thriller, which isn't really an Academy thing. It looks like it could be mid. I don't like that PG rating. Since when has a good thriller been PG? I want someone to tell me that. I'm not falling for the trap that now Edward Berger always comes out with Best Picture nominees after years of not doing that. I'm not falling for it. We do have the piano lesson confirmed for Telluride and TIFF. New York is still on the table. We'll see. Again, I mean, look, this could be a very, it could be fine. It could just be acting. And that's kind of the vibe I get from it, especially now that Netflix has a much stronger thing in Emilia Perez. But who knows? Maybe, piano lesson premieres and it blows us all away. Sam Jackson is still on the winning table. I don't think Danielle Deadweiler really is, but like, nah. The Room Next Door going to Venice, going confirmed for New York, and that's a U.S. premiere, which pretty much confirms that it's going to TIFF. It's a Pedro Almodovar movie, which means you can decipher some acting from there. You can survive, like maybe get a screenplay from there. Again, I mean, Pedro Almodovar, him getting a Best Picture nomination for his first English language movie is in some ways makes a lot of sense. But I'm still not like fully convinced that like any of his films would have been nominated for Best Picture if they were in English. Like, obviously Parallel Mothers wasn't, like Parallel Mothers, for example, like that wasn't going to get nominated for Best Picture, even if it was in English. Like, that would seem to drive my car. So, I don't know. I'm not ready to predict Room Next Door, although I definitely buy the possibility now it's going to 3 major fests. A lot of movies doing 3 major fests this year, which is interesting. Saturday Night, which it was previously titled SNL Night 75, 100% confirmed from this year, coming out in early October. Good release date. Could be a good crowd pleaser. Jason Reitman's not necessarily on his game, but let's just theorize for a second. I can't imagine it does no festivals, considering it's like pretty much done. Maybe it goes to Telluride, goes to TIFF, goes to New York. All those are very much on the table for Saturday Night. It could be, if it's really good, I think it's going to get in, but it feels like it's just going to be like a fun crowd pleaser, which doesn't really work out. I guess we can theorize if it gets in, maybe screenplays on the table, maybe cinematography. I've heard they do something interesting with the though I guess like a one-take thing, I guess. Acting-wise, I don't think LaBelle would get in. Maybe Rachel Sennett could get in. Screenplay would definitely get in. And score would definitely get into. Right now, I feel safe having it out. The End, going to Telluride and TIFF. Maybe NIF, we'll see. I still think The End could generate some noise if it's really fucking good. I'm not counting it out, and neither should you. But I do suppose it could be a little out there for the Academy. But hey, it'll stick out amongst the crowd. That's always what I've been saying. It'll stick out. A Real Pain. Once it was confirmed that Searchlight has a Complete Unknown coming out this year, our reasoning for predicting it kind of came out the door. Its nomination ceiling is just too low for me to predict it now, and I never really bought it outside of the Searchlight thing. Kieran Culkin will probably still get in. Screenplay still on the table. But yeah, I'm going to say Real Pain kind of flounder. Gladiator 2, that trailer came out. A lot of people pretended they loved it. Alright, I won't be a dick like that. The trailer was fine. I'm not predicting Ridley Scott until I have to. And this movie, even the trailer made me go, this looks like a basic action movie. Just the fact that it's directed by Ridley Scott, who's inconsistent as fuck, why would that make me want to predict it? It'll get taxed. I'll admit it. But I'm still not buying it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Nickel Boys confirmed for New York, and probably Telluride as well. I think it is confirmed for Telluride. The way it's being talked about makes me think that it's maybe not as basic as we thought it was, but I'm still not sold that it's gonna be that great, and I don't think it can survive that. Who is Ramel Ross that Nickel Boys can just slide in? Maria. It's right now it's only confirmed for Venice, and it's probably going to do something else along the way, but right now it's just Venice. Doesn't have a distributor, and right now, not any... Angelina Jolie is going to get nominated, but what if it's just, another Barbara Lorraine movie? Yeah, I gotta leave it out. But I'm open to being wrong. Maybe it's just too good. Night Bitch, yeah, I'm not suspecting that much quality for it, and again, now that Searchlight has Complete Unknown, my, reason for predicting isn't really there. Maybe it is just too good and I can predict it, but I'm not really seeing much reason to. Might be too out there, or not good enough. Apprentice is looking like it's not gonna happen. It looks like it's just in too much of a limbo state. If it comes out, it'll get Sebastian Stan nom, but right now it's looking like it's just like, well, who's gonna pick it up? Furiosa, picture is just not gonna happen. But for a movie that is like possibly picking up a bunch of texts, I don't want to fully count it out, but it's just not gonna get picture. It's just not gonna happen. His three daughters, Natasha Lyonne can get in and screenplay, but I'm not predicting off of that. And Netflix, I don't think Netflix is gonna go that hard for it. Hard Truths is still not enticing me enough, and I'm hearing a little bit of some things that make me go, uh-oh. Going to Tiff and Niff, it's not bad, but I want to see it first. I don't think Michael Lee is really that guy anymore. Nosferatu, if it's, I need to do festivals, and it's looking like it's just skipping all of them. So, fortunately, I am just going to have to say that Nosferatu is just not going to happen. Robert Eggers is going to have to wait a little longer. It's going to be a monster horror movie. Now, that trailer came out, and it confirmed all the doubters were right. It looked like a fucking disaster. There's no universe where this movie is gonna be good, and we can just move on from here. All we imagine is like actually doing a really good festival run. Doing Telluride, Tiff and Niff. That's good. That's a good run. It really doesn't feel like the buzz is there for it, but we'll see. Maybe it can garner some along the way at these new festivals. It did get second place at Cannes, so I can't really ignore that fully. But what, are we gonna predict all three Cannes winners? I don't think it's ever happened. Collaboration, I don't know what the fuck's going on with that. I took the actors out. I don't know what's going on with it. Wicked, it dawned on me that is Universal's only real competitor this year, which is something, but Universal is not a studio that needs a contender. But I feel like if it's really good, I can look at it. Fire Inside and We Live in Time, I'm just going to mention for jokes. It's not going to happen. But I suppose chances aren't zero, but they're both going to suck. So that is all the predictions for Best Picture that I'm ever going to do. Next time I do this, we'll see how different it is. I don't know. I'll probably do my next Best Picture update in October because I'm going to be going to New York for the festival. So we'll see. Like, subscribe, and share. And bye-bye.